This ain't nothing worth celebrating. What's good, y'all? This was my first week with a funded. As you can see by the results, mid. Because of me. So basically, alright. So this part confused me, right? Okay, so I passed the funded or the eval for Lucid. I heard good things about Lucid, so I just went with Lucid for my first funded, and I did the 25K one. I passed it earlier this week, the first day. That's in a previous video, my last video. I passed it in one day. I like to pass evals in 1 or 2 days. I think it's a waste if you don't, because evals are like, they're pointless if you know how to trade, or at least if you have if you have a strategy you've built out, you're a profitable trader, like you're consistent, then an eval is literally like you just want to get straight to being funded at that point. Like eval is pointless. So I like to pass them in 1 to 2 days. That's besides the point. You all can watch that in the other video. But yeah, so this tripped me up, right? Because this is my first funded. First time, like, really with a funded after practicing my strategy. And basically, I don't recall this being in the details, but I thought this 250 profit target and the consistency, I thought I had to hit that profit target with the consistency, and I could be available for even just like a 250 payout. That's what I thought it meant. I mean, I don't understand the whole point of the profit target there, to be honest, because the buffer apparently is 26,100. So I don't know where this 250 profit target, like why that's even here. If somebody knows and can explain that, because I thought that's why you see these really small numbers, is because I was like, okay, let me get my first payout, get that feeling of getting that first payout from a funded account, just so I have it, and then, you know, up my leverage again, because I don't usually trade this light. I was like, you know, let me trade smaller so that I take trades I want, and I'm not as fearful in the trades. There's no emotion, so I was just like, let me just do that. I get the first payout. I did that, realized, looked it up, the buffer is apparently 26,100, so is what it is. Then today I just basically broke even. I couldn't really catch a good trade today, but yeah, so still not bad. I mean, we're like 700, 800 away from being eligible for our first payout, but I was only trading like 1 to 3 micros these 3 days. That's not usually I think since it's a 25K and I only have 1,000 in drawdown until I get past the buffer, I'll probably do only like 5 micros max, because I know on a good trade I can make at least, you know, 200 to 400 with that. So hopefully next week we'll actually get the first payout. But I'm not, you know, I can be consistent. I think one thing that's tough with fundeds is like having that target for a payout, because next week I can just have a bad week at trading, but with a funded, it's like you have these drawdowns and these things that you can't recover from once you hit a certain point. Whereas like my personal account, when I trade, you know, I can be consistent for a month. That doesn't mean I might have had 3 days in a row to where I lost, but 3 days with a funded, like if you don't have the right rules in place for yourself and the right risk and the right, you know, leveraging the right way, then 3 losing days in a row, you can blow an account easily. If you're like, at least if you're under buffer. I don't know, you know what I mean? Obviously, if you've built up a buffer of like a certain amount of, if you've built up a buffer of a certain, you know, a huge amount of money, that's totally different. But for like the first payout, I feel like that's key. But I'm just gonna try building a buffer, and then we'll go for the first payout. But yeah, so yeah, appreciate y'all for watching.